Ben. I'm Pamela Tilton. Stay with us. The Gold and Silver Emporium with Joe Battaglia and Steve Ruxton as your host is coming up next.
Karen, your broker's on 3.
Can you take a message, please?
He says he'll hold. Do you want to take it? Karen?
Quick and Riley, a new breed of broker. Call now for the full story and receive a free study of companies that have raised dividends every year for 10 years. 1-800-THE-BREED.
The Gold and Silver Emporium now presents today's Midday Report, a comprehensive review of trends and activities in today's precious metal and rare coin markets.
Good afternoon. It's 12:55. Welcome into the Gold and Silver Report. On the line, Joe Battaglia, chairman of the Gold and Silver Emporium in Encino, California. Joe, kind of odd news out today. People are spending more than they're making. Come up cents in May, but consumer spending up almost twice that amount, to 0.5%. How do you see that affecting the inflation landscape? And
well, Steve, you're kind of fading in and out on me, but if we can assume that those government numbers are accurate, as you know, those numbers are adjusted so many times that it's really hard to put any serious stock in them. I find it difficult to believe that people are spending more than they're making right now, unless they're making so little that they're eating up savings just in order to exist. And I guess that's a possibility, although no one's been analyzing that issue yet. Of course, it would be if spending is on the increase and people are dipping into their pocket or their savings to be buyers, then that would be positive for the economy, and of course it would add to inflation. I noticed there were several articles in the Wall Street Journal today all using the word stagflation, where the economy is stagnant and not moving along very well, and at the same time inflation is very serious and growing worse. One of the reasons why inflation is on the increase is that the Federal Reserve has been monetizing debt. They've been buying 13% of all new debt being issued by the federal government this year, and they are likely to step that up. There's a lot of pressure on the Federal Reserve to lower Fed funds again, and while they may be reluctant to act that overtly, they may very well just step up their purchases of government debt, monetization of the debt, which would have an even stronger impact on economic recovery. Today in the metals, we've got a strange situation. We had gold opening sharply higher. The dollar was weak. It was all the way down to 1.53 German marks today. And then as the dollar strengthened, gold bumped up against resistance at 345.50, did not get through that resistance, and the traders simply cashed in their gains and went and stepped aside the market. Those few people that are actually playing the futures, we now have gold trading down 50 cents at 342.70. It'll probably make another assault on the 345.50 level early next week. Silver's down 2 cents at 398, basically dipping a little below that $4 level. As I said yesterday and the day before, I wouldn't be surprised to see silver spike down one more time, but it's a good value here in this $4 or under level.
Go ahead.
And platinum up 60 cents at 365.90 and looking pretty strong on the South African situation. Go ahead.
I wanted to touch on that silver issue in a moment, but I wanted to ask you a little bit more about stagflation. We were talking about that, oddly enough, right before the program, and we talked a lot about inflation and how it supposedly will get worse, according to the Barron's article that you're sending out to people free of charge. How about stagflation? How should people get into the metals markets if that's the way it's going to be, the economy not doing so well and prices up high?
Well, they still would need to move into your metals sector, and at least with a small percentage percentage of their assets just for the sake of diversification. If we continue to have this stagnating economy, interest rates will come down some more. And I just tried to renew a CD, and you certainly don't want to renew them. We had some short-term money at our bank here, and they're only paying us 2%. So I don't think 2% is going to do you much good when inflation is 4%. And I think that simply because of that factor, that there will be more and more money shifting into the gold market. We're just beginning to see that right now. I think, look at this situation not over the next 2 or 3 days, but look at it over the next 6 months to 2 years. And I think that you can see the benefits of owning some gold. That's why Alan Abelson in that Barron's article you referred to has began to recommend gold, and you're now starting to get some of the big pension funds and so forth adding gold to their holdings. And I think that we're going to come into an era here very, very shortly, especially if we see this gold market break out above 350 in the near term. You'll see a lot of individuals come into the gold market. The investors will come back on a move above 350. So kind of watch for that.
Zach, quick silver question. You mentioned that you expect another spike downward in silver. Why would that be? And again, this is referring to another article that you're offering to people, the article about how demand for silver is outstripping the supply. Now, if that's the case, why would silver prices head down?
Because there's no investor interest in the market right now, and you have a situation where the stag part of that inflation comes into effect, where people are worried about the economy not picking up and industrial demand not being there. And so that may be just enough for the professional speculators to push silver down a little bit. If they do, it'll be the final spike, but it may not even go down.
Bid and ask prices quickly.
Maple Leafs 347.40 at 357.40. Platinum Koalas 372.60 at 382.60. Silverbacks 26.30 at 28.80. And be sure to call for those special reports that Steve and I were talking about.
All right, Joe. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Joe Battaglia, chairman of the Gold and Silver Emporium in Encino, California. And coming up on Ask an Expert, Jerry Kopp from Benjamin and Gerald in the studio on the Channel 26 Stock Market Observer.
Hey, I checked out your idea about investing in platinum. I asked my advisor to send me information. Here's the key. More platinum is going to be used to clean up the world's pollution problem. In cars, factories, even bakeries. The experts are forecasting a reduction in supplies. That combination adds up to some real profit potential. I really think you should call and get these reports too. But the bottom line is, buy it.
Call the Gold and Silver Emporium now for your free Platinum Investor Kit, the Australian Koala, the ultimate platinum coin at 800-827-4653. The preceding broadcast was brought to you by the Gold and Silver Emporium. For today's prices, a free investor's kit and newsletter, call now at 1-800-827-4653.
Channel 26, Chicago's business station, presents Ask an Expert. Our phone lines are now open to take your questions on investments. If you call 663-9553, you can ask an expert.
Program is sponsored by Benjamin and Gerald, discount stock and option brokerage.
And welcome. I'm Linda Marshall. Jerry Kopp is with me now of Benjamin and Gerald, your discount stock and options broker. He'll be answering your questions on options, on stock options, OEX options, puts and calls. Give us a call right now at 312-663-9553. 312-663-9553 if you have a question for Jerry Kopp of Benjamin and Gerald. Don't forget, coming up, a seminar. Jerry Kopp's next seminar is going to be held on October 10th, Saturday, October 10th. Seems far away, but it really isn't. Time is flying. So for Saturday, October 10th, let me tell you what you'll be treated to. An OEX strategy with a high probability of success, how to use it, how to use the CBOE's public order limit book to gain the edge, learn when to use it. You will have special guests that will help give you great tips and information. John Downey, CBOE market maker, veteran stock and index option trader. And he's going to discuss the self-discipline he used to net profits, how he spreads. Tom McMurray, president of Thomas McMurray Ideas. And Alan Woolman, president of Optima Trading Company. He'll talk about the 6 key technical indicators he's developed and actively uses to signal short-term market extremes. All of this and much more at the Hotel Sofitel, O'Hare Airport. That's North River Road in Rosemont. And again, it's on Saturday, October 10th bring a tape recorder. And if you sign up before the 8th of September, you get a break on the price. It's $229 per person normally, but if you sign up before September 8th, only $199 per person. So again, write down that information and write down this phone number to call if you would like to reserve a seat for Jerry's next seminar. It's 312-554-0202. There is a fee. 312-554-0202. And if you have a question right now for Jerry Kopp, please call us at 312-663-9553. Phone lines are open. Jerry, welcome.
Hello, Linda.
Hi.
Oh, hello once again.
Okay, this market's been a little treacherous for you recently, hasn't it?
No, it's not treacherous. It's boring.
Oh, it's boring.
I guess if you're long Microsoft or you're long Lotus yesterday, I mean, these are the days where they take them out one at a time and shoot them. All you need is an analyst. Oh, well, that's what happens. You take an analyst and they lower their earning estimates, and that's enough to knock 5 to 10% off the value of a stock. And it's happening. Now, you'll find that when the analysts ratchet their estimates up, the reverse is true. So you really have to watch the analysts and see what they're potentially going to do. This is a premium seller's market. It's very hard. We're finding the customers having a hard time making money trading from the long side of options because the moves abort, and your timing has to be impeccable. But the premium sellers sit there and they sell premium in the form of credit spreads, and they come in. That game will end too, but right now it's flourishing, even though the premiums are, well, they're right around theoretical value. They're not really fat. It's just real quiet. Mm-hmm. Usually, though, you know, before July 4th, I mean, I have a feeling, if you put a gun to my head,
okay,
if the market goes down 20 to 40 points, it'll have a nice rally right after that. You know, it'll have an excuse to. And usually when that happens, it's because the programs stop. And when the programs stop, it's like the pressure is off. By the same token, if it goes up 50 points, I don't think it'll stick. So we're in a sideways doldrum type pattern, again, where the premium sellers make the money.
Mm-hmm. We're posting major market commodity prices now in the top half of your screen, courtesy of Benjamin & Gerald, your discount stock and options brokers. Jerry Kopp is here to answer your options questions, stock options, OEX options, puts, calls, and we have our phone lines open. Call us at 312-663-9553, 312-663-9553. Long-term calls on Bristol Myers, Jerry.
I think there are some leaps on Bristol Myers. The drug, I don't know. I don't care what you say. It's very hard not to like the drugs companies, even though they're under a cloud now, and for the last 3 to 5 months they've been going sideways and down. But somewhere along the way they'll take them out and dust them off and say they're selling at a certain multiple lower than the Dow, and they're underpriced relative to the market, and you'll probably have a run out of them again. So I'd buy some leaps, but by the same token, I'd rather spread it. If I'm going long the fars, I'd sell the nears on some kind of rally and spread and reduce the cost of the purchase of the leaps. It's a lot safer.
Well, can you write covered calls against leaps, those long-term options?
Covered calls? Well, a covered call is where you'll own the stock and you buy and you sell an option against it. That's a covered call. Or you buy the stock and you sell a call against it. That's a covered right. Now the question was, can you
write covered calls against leaps?
You could do a spread with a leap. In other words, short the nears and long the fars. That's a time spread or a diagonal time spread, depending on the strike prices. I'm not sure the question is phrased right, so I don't know if I'm answering it correctly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how about investing in Mexican oil and gas business? How can I do that?
I don't know. You speak Mexican? You speak Spanish? No, I'll tell you something. There are hundreds, in fact thousands, of different opportunities, right? And, I mean, I get something in the mail from the Bahamas every now and then, and from London. I mean, I'm on mailing lists, just like you're on mailing lists. And sometimes we get a call from a broker. And soliciting. People are out to solicit your business, and I mean, that's the way the system works. Generally, if you don't know a lot about the situation, it's not your game. And as one accountant, one CPA once told me, that an auto dealer told him, the person who owns the pencil makes the rules. That's their game, Mexican oil stocks. I'm happy with Exxon, and I understand it, I think. Mexican oil stocks, I don't know very much about, so I would have to trust somebody. And if somebody is a stranger, it's a question mark. So I'd kind of shy away because there are a lot of these opportunities out there that you really have to ignore. Sometimes you got to ignore the domestic opportunities. I mean, I had a call the other day, and on Commonwealth Edison, which I'm a little negative on because their dividend is not quite covered by their earnings, you know.
A little negative?
A little, you know. I want them to turn my lights off, do you? You know? So the stock was 30 5/8 and is going ex-dividend the next day, and it was too late to do anything. And I said, well, the stock's going to open up at 29 7/8 because it's going to be minus the 75-cent dividend. I said, but that doesn't mean it's going to rally. I mean, sometimes they pop, as it was the next day because they're not going to get some rate increase or something. The stock is at 28, or was at 28. So even though you collected the dividend, you were still down about 2 5/8 points with the dividend. Well, 2 points, or a little less than 2 points with the dividend. So even though you might like Commonwealth Edison, you might think you know it, things do go awry. So you really have to, you know, the best laid plans of mice and men. So sometimes things that look so terrific, they just don't blossom. And sometimes things that don't, you know. Mm-hmm. There's a saying in French, Mantrach and good luck. Man plans and God laughs, you know. It's true. It's true.
All right, Jerry, we're going to check with Kurt now on market activity, and then we'll be back. Jerry Kopp of Benjamin & Gerald, your deep discount stock and options broker, and he'll continue answering your questions on options, OEX options, puts and calls, stock options. 312-663-9553. 312-663-9553 if you have a question now for Jerry Kopp, and we will be keeping those phone lines open during the break. And by the way, there's a seminar coming up, his option seminar on the 10th of October. I'll tell you more about it. So let's go to the boardroom now, and Kurt Renz for a stock market update. Kurt?
And the Dow, a little to the downside right now. We've been in a relatively narrow range. At the worst, we were down about 9, and at the best up about 6. Currently down 6.95 at 3277.06. High 3290.43. The low 3274.65. Transport's down 4.48. Utilities down 1.12. Trin 1.01. Tick a -9. The Ticky a +2. Advancers 734. Decliners 806. Unchanged 612. Up volume 42,893,000. Down volume 47,647,000. Total volume 113,990,000. NYSE down 0.13. AMEX down 0.23. NASDAQ down 1.21. S&P 100 down 1.11. September S&Ps up 0.10. S&P 500 down 0.28, yielding a premium of 0.36. We expect around 0.85. September T-bonds down 2/32. September T-bills are flat. September dollar index down 0.17. August gold down $1. August crude oil up 4 cents. The CRB index up 1.15. It's 113. Back to Linda.
Welcome back. I'm Linda Marshall with Jerry Kopp of Benjamin & Gerald, your deep discount stock and options broker. He's going to continue answering questions on options, stock options, OEX options, puts and calls. We invite you to call us now at 312-663-9553. 312-663-9553 if you have a question for Jerry. Don't forget about that options seminar coming up on Saturday, October 10th. There will be John Downey, the OEX market maker, there to speak about the discipline he uses, spreads, and how to make money trading options. Also attending will be Tom McMurray, president of Thomas McMurray Ideas, employs proprietary trading techniques which he uses to manage equity portfolios, and Alan Woolman, president of Optima Trading Company, to talk about those 6 key technical indicators he's developed and actively uses to signal short-term market extremes. You'll learn about an OEX strategy with a high probability of success, how to use it. You'll learn about useful rules that will keep you out of trouble and enhance your return, and how to use the CBOE's public order limit book to gain the edge. Learn when to use it. If you'd like to find out more about this seminar and make a reservation, there is a fee, and it's lower if you sign up before September 8th. $199 a person before September 8th, $229 per person after September 8th. So hurry and sign up now. And here's the number: 312-554-0202, 312-554-0202. And if you have a question now for Jerry, it's 312-663-9553. Okay, Apple Computer 50 calls for October.
To buy them or to sell them? I mean, if you're October 50s, well, the stock's in a downtrend now. I wouldn't buy them, not quite yet. You don't know where the stock is going to fall or how much further. It's a, one of my customers called today about talking about catching a falling knife, or somebody else said catching a falling bowling ball. If you have to buy it, I've learned not to talk anybody out of anything. If you do buy it, put in a stop where you're risking $500 or $1,000. I had one fellow call up today. He got a signal from some service that Chrysler was going down. What are the July 22.5 puts? I says they're 2 7/8 to buy. Good, buy 10. Man has $19,000 in an account. That's a pretty big. I said, do you want to put a stop in? No. Are you risking $3,000? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, I didn't say anything else. 3,000 out of 19 is a pretty big percentage. The man would have been better off buying half instead of 10, buying 5 lots with no stop, or putting a stop in at $1.50. But he's a strange character. It's either he makes, he's only looking at what he can make and never looks at what he can potentially lose, which occurs a lot of the time. So I point these things out, and sometimes people listen. I don't point them out too much or too hard, because then they go to Quick and Riley. But I do ask the question, and then the smart ones say, well, yeah, maybe I better put the stop in, and then I shouldn't be sloppy, and I'll do it, or I'll cut my size down in half. But a lot of people, I find, they look at what they can make and not what they potentially can lose, because they feel they're just going to be so right, And like I said, the best laid plans of mice and men,
What about spreads on Centacor? Any ideas?
Well, before I do a spread, just buy the stock,